What we gonna do right now is go back, way back. Give me your friend.
Baby.
What's up? I thought you was gonna start hanging out with the big girls again. What is all this trash? I'm serious. Where you are, not the Alabama. Oh, not the Britney Spears. Hey, how you doing? Oh, but ain't the little leprechaun. Girl, your beat is so up. You look a mess. All about the big girls. What about the big girls?
Big girl, work it, work it, work. Big girl, work it, work it, work. Big girl, you done suck all the fat off your ass. Bam. There I go. Hello, hello. Oh, don't stop me. Move. I'm just drinking Fanta. I got no business drinking this. It's got Xbox on it. Call of Duty. How many of y'all look at Call of Duty? I didn't even brush my hair. It's a lot of things going on. Fanta. Let me put my hat on. Get myself together here. There we go. Get my brim right. Should I wear like the Cuban look? where it has this and then it has that. You know the what do they call that hat? No, I should do it like this. Yeah. Oh, let me get myself together here. I need the ladies to see because this is Friday. This is happy hour. This is happy hour. Yo, welcome to another edition of your truly Uncle Lke Show. Hey, brought to you by not Fanta. Under no circumstances, not Fanta, because that'll get you fat. You shouldn't be drinking that. This show is brought to you by no other than Luke Records, paraphernalia. You can go to LukeRecords.com and get all of your good stuff, all your Luke gear. You can get your Luke sweater. You can get your Luke bomber. Ladies, we got Luke lady pants, sweatpants, and all that. You can get the T-shirts, nostalgia at its best. You can get all that stuff. And that's what the show is brought to you by. But I want to welcome you all to another edition of yours truly, Uncle Lke Show podcast. Hey, man, we are live all the way everywhere. We're live all over the place. We're live today on daggone Instagram today. We are live on Facebook. Shouts out to all my good Facebook friends. Y'all love y'all right now, Facebook, because my man Streeter hooked me up and explained to me how valuable and how important Facebook is and how Facebook people really love me. I thought Instagram was my biggest market, but Facebook really is my people. I mean, over the last 30 days, over the last month, we did over 4 million views on Facebook. Give it up for Facebook. We get over 40 million views on Facebook. 40. Well, I'm talking about. No, I'm sorry, not 40 million. 4 million. 4 million. Give it up, Facebook. Give it up. 4 million views. Hey man, we're cooking hot. I mean, this show has gotten bigger and bigger. And for all the good folks who've been here from day one, man, I love y'all, man. Make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe to the show. Again, we're on Twitch, we're on Twitter, which is X. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. All my YouTubers. I don't understand YouTube. I'm still trying to figure that out because I go on TikTok, sign up, automatically got a damn near 200,000 followers on TikTok, but then it takes me God knows how long to get 9,000, 10,000 followers on YouTube. Mind you, I got music like Scarred and all them videos that's got millions of hits, but I only have like 9,000. You know, I really think a lot of these social media platforms have a lot of control. Like even on X, you know, on X, that's the same situation on X. I have 98,000 people for like 5 years. No, I'm sorry, 89,000 people like 5 years. Really? That means ain't nobody left and ain't nobody came. Ain't nobody left, ain't nobody came. I think they really control the numbers on people because, again, if you are part of some big time PR firm, then they'll call up somebody, allegedly call somebody at X and be like, yeah, we represent Luther Campbell. Oh, okay, fuck it. We'll give them a couple million followers. And then y'all think the person with the million followers is relevant. And then they then start tweeting, oh, yeah, he has 2 million followers. And those 2 million followers actually be fake. And that's what normally happens. And I think that's the same thing that's going on over there at YouTube. I'm just not. YouTube is a great place. I mean, you know, you can look at this shit on TV and all that and everything. But I think they're BSing people when it comes to followers. And if you're not in the crowd, and we know YouTube has, Leo Cohen runs it. And I know Leo Cohen real good. He used to run Def Jam. And with him running it, I'm pretty sure Leo Cohen is picking and choosing who to give a whole bunch of followers to. And especially if you signed up as an artist over there at YouTube, you'll get a tons of followers and they'll put you in the algorithm, and all of a sudden you're a big time star, and y'all look at this shit and be like, oh, he's a star because he has 2 million followers. But it is what it is. That's the word of the world. But I'd like to welcome you all to the show, man. We got a really big show today. We're going to talk about my fundraiser that I had yesterday. We got sports, politics, and entertainment. That's what we do on here. Hopefully, my man Streeter will join us. He always comes late, and then he wants to stay late. He wants to then extend me to 2 hours. I try to be off of here for about an hour. You know what I'm saying? I know most of y'all look at the show, and y'all look at the show from the standpoint of y'all looking at it like you're working out, you're walking, and you're hearing me talk my shit, because I'm always giving you a different perspective as to what they give you on the news, or what they give you on TV, or what they give you in the newspaper, because that's what it is. I mean, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I am a person who, who's grown up on politics, who's grown up on sports, and who understands life. You know what I'm saying? When you know your history as a black man, and you know how this country operates, and you know how the world works, and now and you understand the political process of it all, and politics plays a role in everything. Politics is in sports, politics is in regular life, and so I can sit there and articulate it in a totally different way to try to give you all a perspective as to what's going to happen tomorrow versus talking about what's happening today. I'll tell you what's happening today, but then I'll explain to you what's going to happen in the future. I'm not no Cleo, don't profess to be that, but unfortunately in this world, things work in circles. Like right now, bell bottoms. All of a sudden, bell bottoms are back. Bell bottoms was in the 70s, but bell bottoms are back. You see people riding around with Volkswagens. They put the Volkswagen van on a movie and put it on a commercial. Then everybody wants a Volkswagen. And that's how it is. This world works in circles. Things that was happening in the 60s and the 70s and the 80s are happening right now. Look at Donald Trump. Look what's happening right now. Look at what's happening right now when it comes to politics. They're rolling back the Civil Rights Act, voters' rights. See what I'm saying? Things happen and it goes into a circle, and then now you sometimes are set back, or sometimes you go back and you look back in the closet because this new fashion, these bell bottoms, and you was like, oh shit, I still got my bell bottoms. I didn't gain no weight, but then when you put the bell bottoms on, your ass then got you was at a 2 when you had the bell bottoms on. Now you're 8. But you do have those in the closet. They're still in the closet. Racism is still here. It has not went anywhere. What Donald Trump has showed everybody right now to this day is that it exists. That's why when those people get on my Twitter, on X, and I make a comment about defending African Americans, and the first thing some of these white nationalists or some of these white people who don't know that they're racist, the first thing they, Luke, why it's got to always be about race? And then I have some brothers be on there talking about, Luke, why it's always got to be about race? Why you always got to make it a black and white issue? Well, I have a lot of white friends and I tweet about some white things, but they don't gravitate to that. They'll take 1 or 2 tweets about something, me defending black people, because I know my history and I know where they're going with that. It is about black and white. We live in a racist country, a very racist. Some things have changed, but as you can see right now, when you look at the things Donald Trump has did from the first day he got in office, and how he's and his administration has attacked African Americans from DEI. Let's think about it. Let's take DEI. Really, let's take DEI. What was DEI? DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. Okay, we don't want black people to have the pilot. Oh, he got a job. They use DEI. Listen. They use DEI to make it a black thing, a black stain on black people. And yeah, they try to slide in women to make it, oh yeah, DI with women, white women. They try to slide it in to put a little cream in the coffee, if you know what I mean. But DI was designed for you to look at every African American who achieve something in their life, whether they have tons of degrees, whether they are scholars in Harvard and Yale and Princeton and Howard and FAMU and all of these these top of the line, upper echelon universities, and still achieve these goals and became rocket scientists and being great doctors and lawyers and pilots and you name it. They wanted to sell to the world, which they did. That DEI, that discredit, DEI was to discredit any African American for his or her achievement. And they try to put the white women in there to put the little cream in the coffee because they had them grouped in all Black people who have higher learnings, who have succeed and who have made great with their life, and they called it DEI. And they say, no, it's not just DEI for African Americans, but I say this to say this. Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump made it a law that if you practice DEI at any institution, at any place that you get federal funding, or if you're in a federal school, because colleges are state-run schools and they get federal funds and it goes down from the state to the college and all that. If you get these federal funds, if you work in a federal workplace, and if you're practicing DEI, which is hiring a qualified Black person, that was designed DEI is designed not to hire a qualified Black person because a qualified Black person was getting the jobs that they deserved, but more so of discrediting them to hire a non-qualified white person. I'm gonna keep it a buck. That's what I do. I keep it a buck. So now let's take it like this. If anybody on here say, Luke, that is not the case. You're just making this a black and white thing. DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, does not say diversity, equity, inclusion only for Blacks. Let's take Fernando Mendoza. He's going into a predominantly African-American league. He was drafted first-round draft pick by the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going to still call them Oakland Raiders. I had to slow down. Las Vegas Raiders. You had another guy, Ty Simpson, got drafted by one of these teams in the first round. These are white people in a predominantly Black employed sport because we're talking about employees. Now, are they qualified? Are they qualified? Did the teams that picked these guys first round practice DEI? Should they have been penalized? Should the Oakland Raiders be penalized? He said, Luke, where the hell are you going with this one? Why should the Oakland Raiders be penalized? Because Shedeur Sanders, we can make a case that Shedeur Sanders came into the NFL and he was overly qualified. And the case becomes, look at Shedeur Sanders' numbers and look at Ty Simpson or whatever his name is, and look at Fernando numbers, Mendoza. Clear, based upon these white people, that's clearly DEI. The Raiders should lose all of their federal funding. I'm just saying, if you're gonna go, if we're gonna keep it a buck, if we're gonna keep it a buck, and DEI is not just a Black thing. No, DEI is just a Black thing. Because other than that, we will be having a conversation right now about Fernando Mendoza. And we would do the comparison. Shedeur Sanders, African-American. This is a predominantly African-American league, this is a predominantly African-American workplace. So now here comes a white guy that comes in, and according to them, oh, you just got a job because you're white. You just got paid. You just got hired because you're white. You and Ty Simpson. So why we can't say that? You don't hear Donald Trump them saying that. You don't hear J.D. Vance them saying that. Well, goddamn. this is an African American workplace, and y'all just practice DEI because y'all did this. You look at Shador Sanders' numbers last year, and then you look at these numbers right here this year, and then y'all know, hell no, they just got they got promoted and they got voted. They got the job in the first round because I'm still keeping a job because we're talking about DEI when it comes to in the workplace because they want to clearly tell you that, oh, these Black people are not qualified. They're only getting a job because of DEI. They're only getting a pilot job because of DEI. They're only getting a job over here because of DEI. They ran around the country with Charlie Kirk. I wish they wouldn't have unalived him, so I could have really went and had a little debate with him because I was like, oh, bring your hot ass to Miami. And I would be right up there in the front row and be like, okay, let's talk about this DEI shit. That's why I would love to have a conversation with J.D. Vance. Because them doors swing both ways. But what you don't hear when it comes to DEI, you don't hear the argument of white people going into a Black workplace and they're only getting a job because they're white. And that's DEI. And they're not qualified. And that's DEI because the numbers don't lie. So again, people, we can sit here and play these old tricked up games. Do I want Ty Simpson to succeed? Do I want Fernando Mendoza to see? Hell yeah, I want him to succeed, even though when I looked at his draft party, they had him at the pool and they had the people in the house. I ain't seen no Black people. I was like, where the Black people at? But unfortunately, when we looked at, here we go, Luke, again. When we looked at all the Black guys getting drafted, well, 99.1% of them, they were getting drafted. You looked at them, they had all the Black people in there, and they had the one little white guy sitting in there. He was the agent. He was the motherfucker who was getting all the money. And I tell all you Black athletes, don't do that. Take a page out of their book. Do what they do. There's some real qualified Black agents, African-American agents. Find you an African-American agent. Don't give them the money because they don't give a rat's ass about you. I don't know one agent that cares about a Black player. Name me one. Their job is designed to keep you broke. Because the mama the real estate agent, the brother is the lawyer, the cousin is the shoe man, the sister works at the car dealership. Every aspect of the business, they are taking money. Yeah, they take 3%, but they're taking money from everything that you spend. A percentage here. Oh yeah, the financial advisor who has power of attorney of your money. It'd be a love. I sit there and look at the NFL draft, and I look at it from a totally different set of lens. How many of these dudes got Black agents? Because if they got a white agent, the white agent is putting them with the white realtor, the white financial advisor, the white you name it, the white banker. They ain't putting nowhere. So I'm just saying, we bring that on ourselves a lot of times. We ain't supporting each other. Like I could tell you, hey, look, my ex-wife is a hell of an agent. I don't know what she's doing right as far as her business. If she's still in it, I don't get into it. But the lady reset the market when she had Devontae Freeman and Duke Johnson. She made Duke Johnson the 5th highest paid player in the NFL. The market for running backs had not been reset for 3 years until that lady reset it with Devontae Freeman representing him. Okay? That lady should have people knocking on her doors. I don't know. Maybe they are because, we share a son and I don't get into our business and none of that there. But that lady should have people banging down her doors to be represented by them. But unfortunately, we're so brain dead. And then there's other successful Black agents, a lot of Black female agents out there. They all should be having their doors banged down. But unfortunately, we're still playing ourselves. And when we play ourselves in that realm, it becomes another story. I didn't want to go off into that area there, but I thought it met this conversation here with us. Hey, look, I had a beautiful event yesterday. I had a beautiful fundraiser. I mean, it was great. DJ Khaled. I mean, hey man, I love you, my brother. DJ Khaled came through and he hosted the fundraiser. We got a lot of influential people in the room. A lot of, we kept it private. I know a lot of people wanted to know where it was going to be at and all this here. We kept it private. It's a fundraiser. It wasn't built to be some kind of party at Club Live. Mike Gardner, Stan the Man. Shouts out to them. I mean, Stephen Hunter, lawyer, and Marwan Porter, another lawyer. Some great elected officials came through. Chairwoman Christina King came through. Board member, school board member Dorothy Benjars Mendigal came through. Reggie, who's on the council at Miami Gardens, came through. I mean, it was so many. Dwight Jackson. It was so many people that came through. You know what I'm saying? And so many people that came and made big donations to the campaign, which I really love it. I mean, I did the campaign. Yes, I'm running in Broward, but I wanted to start. This is a movement for me. This is like a full circle movement. Yeah, I wanted to start the fundraiser in Miami. The next fundraiser will be moving straight up the district. We'll be moving into the district. The next one will be with Rick Ross. Another one will be Trick Daddy and Trina into the district. Then we'll go to Houston and do one with Scarface and hopefully Bun B. And then we're going to do one definitely with Shaka on June 2nd with Shaka and Ludacris and T.I. and Greg Street and all those guys, because they want to show love. It's a beautiful thing when you went on the door for hip hop, you went to the Supreme Court for hip hop, and these guys are coming to you and say, man, I want to do this for you. I want to do this for you. You meant so much to us. You meant so much to the game. You meant so much. And we see you're taking on a hell of a battle, and you're doing it for us. Again, you're doing it for the people. You're doing it for the culture. You're setting new precedents. You're always doing that. And that's what I do. I mean, if I could have just kept being the DJ and the promoter, bringing down artists from New York, but I decided I wanted to be a record company. I wanted to be the first guy to start hip hop in the South. And people told me I was crazy. People telling me I'm crazy right now. Why are you running for Congress? What is it? And then people say, well, why was a rapper run for Congress? Well, why did a reality TV star run for president and won? Donald Trump. Why was it an actor, Ronald Reagan, run for president and won? Why was Jesse Body Ventura? Why did Sonny Bono? So when it comes to us, it becomes, how can we do it? A comedian was a congressman. I mean, a bartender. One of your top Congress women right now was a damn bartender. You know what I'm saying? AOC. So all of a sudden, when it comes to us, then we got to put all these stipulations and all these regulations on how dare he's able to run for Congress. Well, I can tell you one thing, I can hold my own with anybody when it comes to politics. When it comes to sports, politics, and entertainment, I can hold my own, because the one thing about it, that Uncle Ricky Stirrup and my daddy Stanley Campbell, that Jamaican Stanley Campbell and Ricky Stirrup, that Bahamian, and my mom, that Bahamian Yvonne Virginia Campbell, politics was heavy in our house. But most important, we didn't depend on the educational system to teach me and my 4 other brothers who are who's and summa cum laudes and damn near astronauts and millionaires. We didn't need the school system to teach us Black history. Those people taught us Black history. My Uncle Stirrup, when you look at the history of Miami, who built Miami, not Cubans, it was Bahamians, and Stirrup was the first Black millionaire. That's on my mother's side. And my dad, the Jamaican, come on now. I didn't get deep into it. So they set us down. We had to know history. We had to learn our history. We had to understand it from all parts of the spectrum. And so when it comes to that, and when it comes to politics, they would always tell us, hey, look, it's very important for you to understand politics. And when if you know a Jamaicans vote 100%. You don't have to tell no Jamaican to go vote. They vote one. And we need to get all black people to do the same thing. You don't have to tell them to get up and go vote. That is embedded in us. That is put in us from day one, because we know that the vote is very, very important to the people. And so again, man, so when they came after me, for free speech, I was the right one. I was the right one. That's why I was able to fight them. That's why I was able to win in the Supreme Court. That's why I was able to win on appeal when they deemed my record obscene, and I got it overturned by federal judge Gonzalez. So that all these artists right now today can say what the hell they want to say on the record. Because if I left it as case law, it would have been the case law similar to what y'all just saw in the Puff Daddy trial, where they had used case law from 60 years ago of a case that nobody appealed and got it off the books, and then they use it against you. They'd have been you, Lotto, yeah, well, no, you ain't finna say, Sexy Red, no, you're not finna say that. Lil Wayne, no, you ain't finna say none of this stuff. The baby, Lil Baby, all y'all babies, no, y'all ain't finna say none of that shit, because there's case law that we've taken a record, nasty as it want to be, off the shelf, and a federal judge deemed it obscene, and Luther Campbell did not go back in and get it overturned on appeal. So therefore, you cannot use that case to them. Same thing with Drewski. Drewski does the whiteface. You know why they can't sue Drewski, and you know why Karen Kirk can't sue Drewski? It's because of me. All these comedians that you see on TV who's doing parodies, it's because of me, because my Supreme Court case was whether parody was protected by the First Amendment, because I did a record called Pretty Woman, and I poked fun. I did a parody of it, and I got sued by Roy Orbison estate. And that is the case that I sent all the way to the Supreme Court. They thought they had an easy case because I was getting sued because of explicit lyrics. So they just feel like all these judges was going to go against me. But in all actuality, we won one, we lose one, we lose one, then it takes up by the higher court. Not this particular court, but the Supreme Court, when it was a balance and it was a fair and impartial Supreme Court, and we won. And that's why Saturday Night Live and all of them could do what they want to do on there. Comedians owe me just as much as artists. Let's keep it a buck. They might don't know that, because if I don't fight for that parody case all the way to the Supreme Court and just let it stay on the books, there will be no more parody. Y'all got a Michael Jackson movie out right now. And a lot of, I love Michael Jackson. I love Michael Jackson to death. But I'm going to tell you who filed a brief against me. Hopefully that be in the next movie. Michael Jackson filed a brief against me in my case in the Supreme Court. It was Dolly Parton and Michael Jackson. Now, I understand why Michael Jackson estate filed a brief against me to say parody should not be protected by the First Amendment, because it was so many people doing parodies of him on TV, doing sketches, and he got mad and he didn't like it, him and Dolly Parton, so they wanted to stop it. I would never have beef with Michael Jackson. I totally understood what he just felt like they was using his work and his name, his likeness, his image to profit off of it, but it's the First Amendment. It is the great laws of our country. So maybe in the next movie they'll have that where they have sitting in the room and Michael got mad and my case was going up to the Supreme Court, and the lawyers called Michael up and say, "Hey, Michael, Michael probably was sitting in the room. I'm tired of them fucking with me on TV. I'm tired of them man jokers on TV, and I'm tired of this here. They got this case going up to the Supreme Court. Filed a brief against Uncle Luke, because maybe we can stop this if he loses in the Supreme Court." So big Michael Jackson files a brief against Luther Campbell and big time Dolly Parton, super A-list. And I beat them too, to protect the Constitution. So it's no joke. It's a full circle moment. I am the protector of the Constitution. What am I running for? Congress. Who's the protector of the Constitution? Me. What is Congress? Congress is the protection of is the Constitution. You know what I'm saying? This is a full circle moment right here. So let me just say this, man. Right here. Check this out.
Out of work. Last week, the Trump administration proposed a $500 million taxpayer bailout that reportedly would have given the government up to a 90% stake in the company. Yesterday, President Trump said his administration had made its final proposal. Ultimately, no deal could be reached.
So let me break this down to you, because when Spirit Airlines went out of business and it was the last flight, I came on, I did a tweet, I did a airline. I said black people should buy Spirit Airlines because we don't own shit. Because I say that all the time on the show. We don't own nothing. We don't own no football team. We don't own no airlines. We don't own no bus company. We don't own no Amazon. We don't own no UPS. We don't own a motherfucking thing. We just spending with these trillions of dollars. We just spending money with everybody. And why not purchase the economy airlines? Hell, all the strippers is flying on there. I know it's gonna be bad for business this weekend in Atlanta and Miami. So I said, let's buy the airline. It went viral. All kind of people started texting, tweeting, texting. Oh yeah, I had a guy call me today. Yeah, man, I got $500,000. Let's do that shit. And I could put up $1 million. And I say, yeah, brother, you know what? If you get 100 brothers with $1 million, and there's 100 brothers got $1 million, and they say, hey, Spirit Airline, we want to cut a deal with you all. We got $100 million. We're gonna buy this motherfucker. But let me tell you this here. Let me give you the business part of this. Now I'm going to blow your mind because nobody's talking about this. Nobody never talks about what we talk about right here on this show. Nobody never talks about this. Here's the business part of it. That's why it is a businessman, Luther Campbell, running for Congress to represent Congressional District 20. I ain't no fucking joke. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to keep it a buck. I will pat myself. I will go toe to toe with any businessman. I don't give a shit who you are, because I made more millionaires than law allowed. The business part of this. Here's the business part of this. Here's the Spirit Airline business part of this. As you notice, Spirit Airline did not go bankruptcy. They did not ask for Chapter 11 R7 protection from the federal bankruptcy court. When you go out of business and you're broke as a company, you go in either Chapter 7, which you liquidate everything and sell the planes off here and sell the planes off there and pay your creditors. They didn't do that. Or you go Chapter 11, something I did. I went Chapter 11. Chapter 11 is reorganizing. Here's the irony between, here's how bankruptcy works, which I had to learn myself. And you know who I learned it from? The Orange Man. Because he went bankruptcy so many times. I was like, what the fuck is going on with this bankruptcy? And I saw all kind of other billionaires and billionaires going bankrupt in companies and reorganize them and starting them back. What bankruptcy is, people, just so you know, is Chapter 11, reorganization. So I go bankrupt. I go to the court and say, hey, look, I need bankruptcy protection. I got all these contracts. I got all this money I can make. I got these employees and everything here. And I need a relief. I need relief. So they'll take today, you go bankruptcy today, boom, all the money that you're making as far as a company, all the contracts, good, bad, or whatever it is, they'll put them in one pot over here, which is the old pot. Then tomorrow, when you open your doors tomorrow, you're free and clear of all debts. You're free and clear of everything. All the new money coming in, they can be Spirit Airline tomorrow, and all the new money coming in, they can cut all the deals. They won't owe nobody. What'll happen to those individuals? Now, what you'll do is you'll have a bad credit for 7 years when you do that. And that's the only bad part. But who gives a shit about that now? Credit is not a situation. So what happens is you'll have all the debt sitting in here, whatever money you got in the bank, whatever debt you have right here, then becomes a cram down. And then what ends up happening is everybody on this side here gets 10 cents on the dollar. So your creditors don't want you to go bankrupt. And I'm going somewhere and I want y'all to follow me. Your creditors do not want you to go bankrupt because they know they're only going to get 10 cents on the dollar. So right now, I guarantee you, Spirit Airlines is talking to its creditors. And its creditors are telling Spirit Airlines, don't go bankrupt. Because we know we're going to get 10 cents on the dollar. So they're right now negotiating with their creditors so that they can get 50% on the dollar. They can get 50% on the dollar. They're trying to work it out because they know if they can't work it out with the creditors, then they're going to be forced to go bankrupt, and the creditors are going to get put in what they call a cram down, and they're going to get only 10 cents on the dollar. Spirit Airlines will move forward and continue making new money. They'll put a comptroller in there to run the company until the company is up, and they'll be responsible for all the old debt and making sure the transfer of all the old money and all that stuff. Ain't nobody taking no money out that pot and letting them and let those creditors then now fight for whatever dollars that they have in there. That's where they're at right now. That's where they're at right now because they didn't go bankrupt. They didn't go bankrupt. That's why they told all the people, hey, look, we'll issue a credit. We'll give you your money back for the ticket you purchased. Hey, they ain't no, it's nobody out there sitting there crying about not being able to get their check. They got their check. And that's what they're doing right now. They had a deal with Mr. Trump, the art of the deal guy who tried to hijack the company, who tried to take the company and say, we're going to give you $500 million to bail you out. Who does that? They had to bail out the airline industry in COVID. Obama bailed out the auto industry. Did the government take over the auto industry? No, they bailed them out, gave them a big ass loan, and they say pay the loan back because the auto industry was hurting. And so being that we're in this crisis of this unjust war, and you have an economy airline who sells cheap tickets to people who pays the same amount of fuel of these other airlines who sell high-price tickets, they deserve a bailout from the government, but not the government to do a hostile takeover. No, that is all wrong by this administration here. And so, again, on the business side of it, Spirit ain't went bankrupt. And until they go bankrupt, it becomes either 7 or 11. If it's 7, then they liquidate the assets, the planes, they sell them over here, and then that goes into the pot of paying off the creditors. If they go 11, then they ask them for reorganization, and they ask the court. 9 times out of 10, the court grants you reorganization because you got new money coming in. You already got money and tickets and all that. That's why Spirit is telling all the people who purchase tickets, hey, get your money, ask for your money back. Because they're going to start free and clear if they decide to go 11. And that's how this business works, people. So don't do too much crime for Spirit right now. That's why I say to all the brothers out there, let's go put a proposal in for Spirit. We can go put a proposal in for Spirit, or other brothers, since I'm running for Congress, I probably can't do that. The brothers go and put the money there, pool the money. The brothers and sisters pool their money together and go to Spirit and say, Spirit, we want to buy this company. We'll negotiate with the current creditors because you say you're $500 million in debt. We'll go negotiate with the current creditors to cut that down to 250 million. Or we can cut it down to 100 million. I say you get a group of black men, they could buy Spirit Airlines for $200 million. And then go to these creditors and say, hey, look here, we're going to give you $125 million. And if we don't give you $125 million, then that means you're going to get 10 cents on the dollar if this thing goes bankrupt, or we'll buy the motherfucker and run it bankrupt. Or we'll buy it and then we'll go to the federal government and ask for a bailout. Because the federal government, all the other airlines right now are getting ready to ask for a bailout. And that's where you at. And so, again, if the brothers want to then take on the whole $500 million and say, hey, no, Spirit Airlines in a bad situation right now. So, again, This business 101. I'm giving you some good game here, people. We can go buy Spirit Airlines for damn near, let's say 200 million. They got 500 million on the books. We can pay the creditors $100 and some million, open that motherfucker back up tomorrow, paint them goddamn planes, get that yellow off it, knowing that African Americans own it. We're already riding it at a high rate. We already know white folks. We already know a certain class of people, the middle class people. We jazzed it up, put the damn front seats, lean back, let them lean back. You can make some more money on there. Chad Johnson is a big time spokesperson of it. I mean, you got people, regardless of race, creed, or color, they'll be more than happy to be a part of that. So I'm going to another thing. Streeter, hold on one second. I got to kill all this stuff. Now you can chime in on here. We have another situation right here.
State's only majority Black congressional district, a Memphis-centered district that exists because Black people fought for generations to have real political representation after Jim Crow, voter suppression, intimidation, and exclusion. The new map splits Memphis and Shelby County into multiple Republican-leaning districts, weakening Black voting power and eliminating the one district in Tennessee where Black voters still had concentrated congressional influence. The NAACP is suing, arguing the map illegally diminishes Black voting power. Republicans are defending it as legal redistricting. Let's call it exactly what it looks like: racial gerrymandering in broad daylight. Representative Justin Pearson, a Black lawmaker from Memphis, was reportedly blocked from entering a committee meeting about redrawing the very district tied to the community he represents. A Black elected official, blocked at the door. While lawmakers moved forward on a map that would break apart Black political power in Memphis. That image says everything, because this is not just about lines on a map. It is about who gets represented, who gets erased, and who is allowed in the room while power is being taken. A white officer with a badge blocking a Black representative from entering a meeting about the only majority Black congressional district left in Tennessee is the kind of image people will remember. This district is not random. It is connected to the long fight after Jim Crow, after poll taxes, after literacy tests, after Black voters were systematically kept from power. And now, in 2026, the tools look different, but the result feels familiar.
You see, welcome to the show, my man Streeter. I'm cleaning up all this politics. You know, I know you don't like to talk too much politics, but that's what's going on here, people. You got all these red states, including Florida, Texas, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. I mean, all these southern, it's almost, we're almost going back to the Civil War times. No. We're almost going, because, you know, everybody on the West Coast are more liberal. West Coast, they were not as enslaved. You had the South, and all these enslaved in the mind, they're just bringing this back. They said for too long, African Americans have been determining who are our elected officials. They've been a driving force. See, what people don't realize, they say is we represent 13% of the electorate. We represent the difference between Democrat and Republican. We originally got our rights from the Republicans, and then the Democrats start voting more, leaning toward Black issues, and the white nationalists moved over to the Republican Party, and the Blacks then moved over into the Democratic Party. And so you had this whole thing of okay, now the Voters' Right Act took place in 1965. I'm 5 fucking years old. That wasn't long ago. They signed this Civil Rights Voters Act bill, overturned in 2026. All these red Confederate states are rolling it back. It's not by choice, it's by design. Their thing is, for too long, Black people have been determining who are our elected officials. Black people have been the driving force as to whether or not we're elected. And Donald Trump had to go and do a whole smear campaign using Black people to smear Kamala Harris, to not voting, because a no vote was a vote for him. And to then try and get, when he did the numbers, he said, I just need a little bit of Black people. I need 8% of Black people or 10% to just come on over here, which he got. Then I could then win because it's so close. But the driving force is Black people. So now once I get in office, I use these Black people to don't go vote, and I use these Black people who do vote for me, and I let them cake as if they did something. They put a red tie on and run around like a fucking bozo clown. Then at that point, I can then roll back everything, so I won't be put in a position whether we as white nationalists have to depend on Black votes. So what do? Gerrymander the entire map. I gerrymandered the map where I could take their representation away from them, like what you see in Memphis. So you don't hear people talking about it from this perspective on TV, because the TV networks are controlled by Donald Trump now. All of them. CBS was taken over by one of his homeboys. ABC is almost there. It's just Disney. That'll probably be the last frontier. He's purchased CNN. He's purchased MSNBC. So the messaging that you get, you won't get the messaging. You won't get the message of what it really is, because this is what it really is. We're tired of Black folks being the determining factor as to what white people are elected from the Democratic side, and what white people were elected from the Republican side. So if I gerrymander the map and take them out of that power, then what? Then it becomes a divide and conquer. So then now you got a mad rush in the Democratic Party, where what they did in the state of Florida, they gerrymandered the map. They put Jared Moskowitz and Debbie Wasserman Schultz in a district together. They took Belgrade and Pahokee out and put them over there with a mega person. And then what did they do then? They then took and left Frederica Wilson, left Congressional District 20, which is I'm running in Broward County. They left those two sitting right there. There's no way in the world they could have gerrymandered that. They couldn't cut it. They couldn't even cut it any kind of way to gerrymander that. They just took River Beach and Belgrade, Pahokee, and left them out there with no representation. So what you have right now is this. The same thing they did everywhere around the country. Some got more drastic. They did some fucked up stuff in Mississippi and Tennessee, as you can see. They did it all over the country because they're tired of Black people being in control of the vote. So you take the Black history away from them, so you don't know Black history. We put you in a situation where we say DEI. Then we're trying to take your jobs and disenfranchise you from that standpoint, casting a shame on you because of your credibility and your expertise, and we ain't got to give you I mean, I had that conversation earlier. I want to go back into it, but again, that's what we had as a country, people. That's what we had. And so I say this to say this: this election this year is serious. You don't get your ass out there and vote, you're gonna find yourself in a bad situation.
What just happened in the Supreme Court today? In this video.
No.
Could you try again?
No, I'm not going here to the Supreme Court because I got Streeter on here. But what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, again, this is sports, politics, and entertainment. What I'm going to do here is, I got to play this early on before we get too deep into sports, because yesterday was a moving moment for me. I did a fundraiser with DJ Khaled hosting. I said I was going to talk about this, and it was great. It was great, and I want to thank Khaled for coming out. I want to thank Mike Gardner. I want to thank Brother Foucault. I want to thank E-Class. I want to thank all the guys who came out and supported the event. You know, it was historic, and let me just let y'all hear some of the words Khaled had to say about
Luke bet on me. So, you know what I mean? When Luke called and I see him doing this, and it doesn't even have to be this situation. It could be tomorrow, he wants to build that building tomorrow, I'm going to show up. And that's what real friends do. And his actions is always spoke louder than his words. It's just living proof. You can look it up, you can Google it, you can see what the people over there in Liberty City say, Uncle Lke, Carroll City. But not only does he love Miami, he loves Broward County, Dade County, the state of Florida, the entire Florida. But what I love about Luke is he loves the people. And if you see everything that everybody said today about how much he's done in the community, especially from the queen right here, we're talking about the kids, the education, because that's where it starts. After they grow, they become a Luke. They become the owner of this restaurant. Shout out to Don Pooh. This is how we build, and this is how we learn to support each other. And there's one thing, and we can say it, but we got to show up, because he's been showing up. It's just proof. Another thing that, you know, we have to give not only flowers, but he gives people.
Well, I guess this thing cut off here, but I mean, those words were kind of. If you'd heard the rest of it, he got into the pit bull and he got into all that. I mean, and my thing has always been about helping people, especially kids, helping young people achieve the goals and help people achieve whatever goals that they've been trying to achieve. So when I see all those guys in the room, it'd be like a surreal moment, because I'd be like, I remember you, Khaled, when you was DJing at Madhouse, and I said, man, come on this radio show. I'm starting this Luke show, and then now his career takes off. And I'm looking at my good friend Stan the Man, and knowing him, and he has Sexy Red and all these other artists, got like 5 artists performing on Rolling Loud show. And then I look at E-Class, and I remember him, with his street team and doing his thing. Now he owns all the restaurants, all the finger lickers and all that in town. And he has Flow Rider and all them. And I'm looking at all these people. I'm looking at Stephen Hunter when he first came down here, a young guy, lawyer, married to a sister from Northwestern, got 2 kids. And I mean, you're looking around the room and you're seeing all these people. You're seeing all these people that you remember when they was young, and not knowing where they were going, and not knowing, we don't know that, a young Khaled running around, just almost like Hustle Man in the movie, just gonna be him. You don't know that Mike Gardner, a kid who played basketball at the University of Miami. He was a basketball player under Leonard Hamilton at the University of Miami, point guard. Leonard Hamilton. His cousin was my assistant. Mike then leaves University of Miami, get kicked off the team some kind of way, and he's sleeping in the barbershop at his cousin Musaddiq barbershop. He's the biggest promoter in town right now. Does all Chris Brown after parties. This guy does live on Sunday. So you see these people in the room, and you see where they came from. And board member, she was a state rep, and Christina King before she started running, and Reggie, councilman for Miami Gardens, who is going to be running for mayor because he's terming out. And you see Reggie used to be an intern, ride the Luke van around. And he's a big-time politician, a big-time councilman that does the big old party, the karaoke in the gardens and all that. He's the guy that thought of all these things. So you see them things, you see this room of people, and it's like, okay, what's next? Who's next? the next generation. We got to build up the next generation. So when I go and take this plunge of trying to represent Congressional District 20, I look at all these young people the same way I looked at them. That if given the opportunity, you will be able to achieve whatever you want to achieve. And that's what I wanted to share there, Streeter, from that standpoint. Now we can talk about.
You know Khaled, no Khaled. You know Khaled, no Khaled. This ain't a situation where you pay him to come say some good work. You know him.
Oh yeah, it's like my nephew Khaled and Pitbull and JT Money and Trick Daddy and all them. They're my nephew.
Khaled is a marketing mongrel. He's distribution at A+ distribution of anything. What's the beginning story of Khaled? Like, why does he respect you so much?
Man, because Khaled know one thing about Khaled and anybody that know me, they know I'm real. They know I'm not with the bullshit. If I was with the bullshit, Streeter, I would have millions and millions and millions of dollars. I'd be sitting right up there in the press box with Jay-Z or somebody, or in the press box above him. You follow what I'm saying?
Wait.
If I sold my soul, they know.
You just lost a lot of people. If you was with the bullshit, you would have millions of dollars. If you was with the bullshit, you would have millions of dollars.
Okay, they know me for being real.
Mm-hmm.
I got enough money, but they know me for being real. I don't sell out. I'm not a sellout person. A lot of guys sell their soul for the dollar, and then when they get pushed out of the room, they have sold their soul. I would never do that. I'm happy within my skin. So when they look at me, all these guys, they look at me from a different perspective. They look at me like, okay, this motherfucker he gonna speak for his people. He's grounded with people in the community. I don't need to be at Sexy Fish, and I don't need to be at Carbones, and I don't need to be at all these wild ass places where everybody get. I don't need to be. I had yachts, I had jets before anybody had those things. That don't do nothing for me. But when I had them, I used them as tools to make more money. You know what I'm saying? So they don't look at they look at me like, yo, when you see Luke, you know Luke is for the people. You know, and that's why they respect me so much. And when they see me, they know that I was there at the beginning and I gave them a shot. That's why when you look at that piece, he said, Luke bet on me. But I know where he came. I know where Khaled came from. I know where Trick Daddy came from. Trick Daddy lived with me straight out of prison. I took him in my house because his daddy Pop told me. So I know these guys. Big Teach, who was at the event. Teach came down from New York. He had just got out of a situation in New York, moved here, started working with one guy. He ended up working with us. And the man owned all the House of Mac restaurants. Jeff Sanchez working for the NBA Entertainment. These guys know when you work with Pitbull on the streets hustling hard. So these are guys who I put my arm around and say, you got a gift, bro. And that's why they respect me. And they know I'm never going to disrespect myself for the dollar. They know I'm really about these people. And so when I call them and for anything, they know I'm calling them about some real shit. I ain't calling them about no. If I call on them, they coming. This man, let me say this, Khaled don't even deal with politics. Period. He don't have nothing to do with it. He don't want nothing to do with it. He ain't got he's there to support me. You know what I'm saying? And that's how all of them are. You know, we never talk politics. None of these guys. He's there to support whatever I want to do. That's why I say, hey man, Luke called me and said, man, let's buy this building over here. I'm here. How much I need to put in? You know, and that's real friendship. And people need to learn from that. And like all them other brothers that was in that room there, same way. We always get caught up thinking that brothers ain't supporting brothers. No, brothers are supporting brothers. Even you know, that room was full of guys who say, man, I'm there for Luke. There was some real, put it this way, there was some real niggas in that room. Now the ones who probably weren't in there, you know, that's fine. You know, maybe they had something else to do, but we'll have other events for them to show up. But we just only deal with real people. That's why I was real private. And we're gonna have another one on the 21st with Rick Ross And that's going to be another private one. We're going to have another one on June 2nd for the guys in Atlanta because they want to show love too. You know, you hear their conversations like, no, we got to do this. You paid the way for all us. You know, their conversation is totally different. Same thing with Scarface and Bum B and all them out in Houston. These dudes believe in what we're trying to do. And look, man, and it's time to get off the goddamn social media and get in the game. I mean, look, you got a lot of guys, a lot of celebrities, they own this thing here, including me, and they talking politics, and it all sounds good. It goes viral. But how about at some point you got to get your ass off of here, and you got to get in the game.
Get in the
field.
what I'm saying?
Them people in Belgrade, Pokey, they called me today. They upset because they really wanted me to represent them. They wanted that for more reasons than one, and we got to try to, you know. So I mean, look, man, this shit is real. It's real, Streeter.
So now you represent who? It affected you how?
It took away Belgrade, Pahokee. They took away South Bay. They took away Riviera Beach. They took those cities away, and so that's sad because these are African American cities now would be represented by somebody that don't look like them, don't care nothing about them, and the resources that they desperately need won't get to them at all. It's going to be bad for them, and hopefully, whatever lawsuits they have filed, they can get some of this shit overturned, if not all of it. But they're going to be in a bad situation. So I got one for you, Streeter Hill. You at your main man. Show up here.
What's up, Rueben? How you doing? Welcome to the coop.
I saw you post that. What was your initial thoughts when you posted that?
Rueben Bain walking into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers facility to sign a $23.7 million deal with a Warren Sapp jersey on. It's almost as if Tampa has made him the face of this draft, this draft experience, rookies coming in. And he's stepping up. But every time I see it, it's frustrating about the Dolphins. Every time I see it, it's frustrating about how could the Dolphins fumble this marketing chance and let a team that's 3 hours away take full advantage of a kid. It almost makes you think, Luke, that there's another agenda. They get in a room and it's almost like, oh, he's from Miami. No, let him go to Tampa, grab more. His fan base is in Miami. Let Tampa. It doesn't even make sense, Luke. Like, it doesn't make sense that they would give up that opportunity of that marketing. He walks in with a Warren Sapp jersey, who played for University of Miami, who played for Tampa Bay, Hall of Famer. Could you imagine what he would have did if he stayed here in Miami? Like, it was too easy. It was too easy. And they just did what they usually do. Last 16 picks the University of Miami put into the draft. Dolphins haven't drafted one of them.
That's sad.
So every time I see it, it's like, man, he could have been home at the crib with his brown sub suit on, going to his hometown, coached by Jason Taylor, who's a Hall of Famer for the Miami Dolphins. And it's like they just standing at bat, Luke, and they just swinging and they just swinging and whiffing. Strike. Come on, man, give me three more. Give me 3 more balls, man. Give me 3 more. Strike. And they just whiffing, bro. Like it's then they could have doubled down and got, if they really wanted to try, they could have got measures on both of them. But we don't need no defensive ends, bro. We're about to lose, bro. Give us something to cheer about. Give us something to cheer about. I don't know, bro. It just made too much sense, man. And the Dolphins did what they usually do. I could see the Dolphins passing on Jeremiah too. just go ahead and keep just jacking it up. Just go. Kid played football 500 yards away from the stadium his whole entire life. And I could just see him just jacking that up, letting him go on off the goddamn Jacksonville. I can see it, bro.
Let me put a different spin on it. Let me put a different spin on it. Right? Here's a different spin on it. You take Rueben Bain, right? A pillar of the community, mom and dad, ain't no trouble kid, dad, hardworking guy, owns a t-shirt company, sells the fireworks for the firework holidays, 4th of July, all the holidays. Gives out for the community, brothers, uncles, the donut truck, the Bains. Just a beautiful family, right? Who's always been involved in sports, not one of those thugged out families. As much as Ross is putting into community outreach, Rueben Bain would have been not just the best player, and then the argument of, we don't need defense ends. Yes, you do. You just got rid of 2 of them. You traded one to Philadelphia, and then you traded your other DN when you start dumping all these players. So you don't have any DNs. Okay, so that's bullshit. But just the mere fact that this man is staying home right now and playing in this stadium, and these fans are embracing it in a losing season. This is going to be losing. This is going to be tank USA. But the fan base will be looking at a bright future, no different than Mario Cristobal. Rueben Bain would have been doing the same thing for the Miami Dolphins that he did for Mario Cristobal when he got him from Miami Central, when every other college in the United States of America offered him double the amount of money. And ask me, do I know this? I do know this. And he made the commitment to stay in Miami because he wanted to play for his hometown team. He wanted to be a difference. And you know better than I know, he's always said that I want to bring the U back. And he did that. Rueben Bain, by what he did in the locker room, by the standards that he set as a person, as an individual. And so here you in a rebuilding year, Miami Dolphins, and you don't draft him, that the ambassador of the community. This guy, this quarterback that they got from the Green Bay Packers, he just here. And when you negotiate contracts, you know everything's on 4-6 years. When you talk about quarterback, you lock into a quarterback for 8 years. Having a 2-year contract with a quarterback, nah, this tank. He's going to play the 1 year. 9 times out of 10, when you have 2 years, when you have 2 years left on your contract, you go back in and renegotiate. They got a backup quarterback. Test driving a car to see if he can be either another backup or have the opportunity to be the guy in a tank year. They get rid of the tank. And so you need something to look up to. They have nothing but a big oversized 2 pork chops away first-round draft pick who was already obese of an offensive lineman that they got from Alabama. I mean, the Alabama players don't pan out. Well, Jalen Waddle did do good, but everybody else is not good. And so not forget about the other ones, but this guy is a project. This offensive lineman that they took over Rueben Bain is a project. But forget about it. I want him to be successful. I'm not hating on the young fella or anything. I want him to be successful. He's a young black man. Let him, hopefully do good. Hopefully he gets his weight down. But at the end of the day, the way that they played this is all wrong. Maybe that's the reason why I had to call up for my F1 tickets, because I'm so outspoken about this. But then again, I can give you another perspective, Streeter, and you might find it very interesting. The Dolphins, and this is where the problem comes in at, the Dolphins and the University of Miami share a facility. Mm-hmm. So if you have the pride and joy of the University of Miami playing for the Miami Dolphins on Sunday, why do you go watch University of Miami on Saturday? And so that economics comes into play also. We got the top player from Miami playing for us on Sunday, and all the Miamians is going over there, and the likelihood of them going to the stadium 2 times in a row, you're going to take a lot of University of Miami fans from University of Miami, and they will be watching they will be going to the Miami Dolphin game on Sunday. So that's the business side of it. When you take the emotions out of it, I always go back to business 101. And they are in partnership at the University of Miami with the Miami Dolphins. Trust me, they are a tenant at that stadium.
So you're saying when Bain becomes a Dolphin, not the Dolphin fans will come see him, but also he will pull some of the Hurricane fans, and because of the economy, motherfuckers ain't got money to pay for 2 tickets same weekend. That what you're saying?
But they're going to be games that play on Saturday and Sunday. You're not going to that stadium. You might well get a blanket and go sleep there if you're gonna be a Dolphin fan and if you're gonna be a Hurricane fan. There are people that do it, but the economics of it all, they're looking at it saying, "Hey man, we can't. He's too big of a brand to be here."
You think the Dolphins care?
Yes, they do. They're in partnership. What do you think? What you think? Now, if University of Miami had its own stadium, they'll jack them for their best branded player.
Man, no,
right now.
You giving them too much credit. Heck no, they done too much dumb stuff.
No.
That was kind of savvy what you just said, but you giving them way too much credit. Nah,
I'm trying to tell you.
I'm stamping this on the stupid. You giving them too much credit.
I'm trying to tell you. It's business. Hey, business is business at the end of the day, boss. It's actually business. So, speaking of business, Streeter, this was epic this morning.
Saw him say the other day, you've already elevated LeBron James all the way up to number 2 on your all-time list?
Yes.
Okay.
I have him at 9.
Oh my. Okay, leave it here. We're going to get to that later. Let's start.
Before I start, I got to go through the
1,000. I saw.
So, I know it's a short clip, and I didn't want to go and play all that, but Skip Bayless back on First Take, and he was the creator of First Take, and now Stephen A. invited him back on. What's your thoughts?
I think it's all for show, right? It's entertainment. We talk about that all the time. I don't think the blood be as bad as they appear it to be. And then it gets to a point where it's just like it comes into a 360 merry-go-round where it's like, well, what would get Luke to play a clip of it on the Luke podcast? Bring Skip Bayless back. And it's just all entertainment, eyes, attraction, and everybody's fighting for eyes.
So you think everybody fighting for eyes?
Yeah, I think it's. I don't think it's no dignity and pride in it. I think it's about numbers. I think it's about attraction. I think everybody's fighting for exposure. Everybody's fighting for attention. And they just do what they think is going to get attention. I mean, outside of just doing good media work, right? They try to do the things that's going to bring in eyes and bring in attention. You see, you got a clip of it. You played it tonight. They won.
Well, the thing is, Skip Bayless was a fixture at that show. They were number 1 for a lot of years. And you see that happen all the time. I mean, hell, they got some of these old-ass boxers fighting other old boxers. You know, they're bringing those fights back. You see, some of these old basketball players don't want to leave the game, and they still out there. And you want to see Mike right now. If they can get Michael Jordan lathered up to go play a pickup game, 1-on-1 versus LeBron James, you will look at it because you will know that Michael Jordan is better than LeBron James after that. So you'll look at that, and that's just how it works, Streeter. Like you say, people want to see it. People want to see that debate. They should have built it up a little better than that.
Speaking of old dudes, so at the spring game, I walked by De La, Malachi Tony's dad, right?
Oh,
and I never told him this. You know, they had the infamous race with De La versus Devin Hester, and the legend of De La beat Devin Hester and Trick Daddy and Chad with all that Liberty City Park. When I interviewed De La, we talked about it. Later, Devin Hester DM'd me and was like, "Hey man, you know I just came from practice, right?" And I was like, "All right, man, let our hood legend have that. You know what I'm saying? You Hall of Fame, like let them have that." So that was years ago. At spring game, I told De La, Luke, I say, "Hey, De La, you know Devin Hester. Devin Hester told me that when you beat him in that race, he had just came from practice." Luke, you know what he said? Straight face. What he saying? He'll beat me? Set it up. And you know what I'm saying to myself, when people pay to see that race again, like you like what he said. You know how De La is, it's straight face. So what he saying? He'll beat me? Set it up.
And
you pay to see De La and Devin Hester race again?
That's deuce. Will you pay for it? Yeah, I think
it's such a legend. I think it's such a
yeah, I pay for it. Yeah, I pay for it. I will pay for it. I will pay. I will go and buy me a ticket on the front row, the most expensive ticket that they would have, and I'll definitely go see it. I would definitely go see it. See them Dolphins getting mad with you. You see what he just put on there?
Yeah, I see that. But he went back to the whole history of the Dolphins, bro. I said the last 16 picks the University of Miami put into the league, the Dolphins didn't take one of them. This man just went back 30 years.
Hold on, but how could they take Cam Ward?
Who?
They couldn't take Cam Ward. So that's 1 year gone. They could have took Rueben Bain. And for the last 16 years, Miami ain't had nobody won it.
They could have put Rueben Bain, Mesidor, they could have put Keontae Scott. Tampa Bay was smart enough to get both.
No. You talking about this year. You said 16 years.
No.
16 years
players.
that the Dolphins 16, did. The Dolphins. Now I'm getting ready to pin the Dolphins with this brother here.
Do what you got to do. 16 players. The last 16 players that Miami put into the league. And now one of them came with Dolphins.
This year?
Huh?
You got to remember they did take Phillips. The man put it on it. The man put it on history. You can't be trashing the Dolphins like that.
What year was that? He took Phillips. That was Manny Diaz. We're talking about 6 years ago.
So you narrowing this down to Mario players?
No. The last 16 picks, the last 16 guys.
Okay, who was the last 16?
Miami put into the last 16 guys that Miami put in the NFL. Dolphins didn't take none of them.
How many of those 16 were first round draft picks?
They haven't had any first rounders. First rounders just started happening now.
Okay, so why they want to?
They just came back.
Of those 16 players that they did not take, how many of them are panning out in the league?
Oh, now the Hurricanes have put some guys in the league now. They
only one that I know that's doing something, and that's Cam Kitchen.
That they didn't take.
Only one I know doing something is Cam Kitchen.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So you talk that cash
James Williams, right?
But now you got to back it up. You
James Williams
I was just gonna sit in and let you just
James
do
Williams
that?
on the roster. James Williams on the roster. Leonard Taylor on the roster, ain't he? Leonard Taylor, James Williams. Kiko is the starting linebacker for the Jets. Now, the man, don't get me revved up. Don't get me goddamn going here now. Don't let me call Joe Rose on your mother ass. Don't get me going. Kiko is the starting linebacker for the Jets. Well, Mike Jackson didn't get drafted, but Mike Jackson been in the league for a long time.
Mike Jackson? Who's Mike Jackson?
Mike Jackson, the cornerback, man. But I don't think he got drafted. I'm not sure if he got drafted.
Hold on. We had the University of Miami had a guy named Mike Jackson.
Michael Jackson. He was a kid from JUCO.
He played quarterback for Miami.
DJ Dallas still in the league. Deion Bush still in the league. Not Calais Campbell. What his name is? The defensive end for Buffalo, still in the league. And he was a first rounder.
Could the Dolphins have drafted him?
Could they have drafted him?
You can't trash the Dolphins like
did they pass on him? No, we trashing them. You don't just let Rueben Bain. Nah, heck no. You get Rueben Bain. I don't care about what your double.
No, I agree with that
scenario. I can't wait to ask him. Did you talk to his dad? I can't wait to ask him. Did they think the Dolphins would have taken him? I can't wait to ask him.
Listen, when you go to dropping down on
draft day
on the charts, and then he's sitting there at the Miami Dolphins, and you sitting there as a family. Oh shit, we finna stay to the crib. Oh my God! And then when the Dolphin pass on you, be like, oh shit, something ain't right. Something going there. It becomes real bad.
You've been there before, right?
Yeah.
Do you know? Do you know if they're going to call your name? Do you have a clue?
You don't have no clue. That's why I tell people all the time. These jacked up agents, they don't run nothing at all. They have no clue. They sit up there and these teams run it. And the only thing you can do is get on the phone and wait for the phone call. On that day, it's the most dragging day of all days. I would go and support the X, and that would be like the worst day of my year because I did not want to, but I had to be there to support and just sit up there with these guys and their family and sit there and the draft pass them by and another team, they see a guy who they know they better than pass them, and then they looking around and everybody thinking it's the agent. And even with the guys, when you be with a player that is getting drafted, you think, it's not the agent. The agent has no control over who drafts what. It's the team, it's them scouts, is what you did, is how you tested, is how you went and you met with them people, and it's based on some dummy in the front office at one of these 27 teams, because 27 teams got dummies running them, because it's only really about four to six teams that's consistently winning and has a winning formula. Everybody else in the NFL think they know what the fuck they're doing, but they do not have a clue, and that's why they've been losing and haven't won a damn playoff game in 25 and 30 years, and they've been nowhere near playoff game. You know what I'm saying? So I say that wholeheartedly. There's about 27 teams worth of dummies and dummy ownership and hiring dummy GMs and dummy all that. They ain't never gonna be nowhere near the money. And unfortunately, it is what it is, but people buy into anything. That's what it is. I'm just saying.
Just getting it wrong.
But you can't be doing that to the Dolphins. It's not a good thing.
Dolphins ain't.
No, that's not good to talk about the Dolphins in that way. But let me ask you something. Let me ask you something. I was me and you had a conversation earlier about something that you brought to my attention. And I said, no, Shrita, wait for the show. You need to wait for the show. Let's talk about it on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it was down the lines of, it was down the lines of how many of these kids realize. We probably talked about this a couple of days ago. How many of these kids realize that in 2027 there's a possibility that they won't be making the money that they think they're getting ready to make? That there could be, if the Congress stays with all this gerrymandering of the map, and Congress stays in favor of Republicans, that they'll create a law that'll roll back NIL, where everybody will get the same amount of money, $50,000 or $60,000 in a scholarship, and have 5 years to play, and 5 to do 5 by 19 years old. Do they realize this?
I don't think so.
Do Haircut realize that there's a strong possibility? That's why I'm like, Haircut, you need to go in the league right now. You need to go in college now. Do they realize that in 2027, Luke don't get in Congress, or if I do get in Congress and all these other municipalities and what they're doing to the map, that there's a strong possibility that Congress create a law that
where's the clip
them from making this amount of money?
Where's the Trump clip? Play it. I told you need to play it every show. You need to play the Trump.
I don't have it. I don't.
Every show you need to play the Trump clip. No, I don't think nobody's thinking about politics. They're not thinking about, hey, they meeting in the White House and they up there talking. No, that's too far from the thought process. Can it happen? Do you think it's possible that it can happen? Do you think it's possible that Trump can get involved?
He's already signed an executive order.
Okay, explain.
But now they got to create a law, and the law can't be created till cannot be created until Congress goes in. It has to be brought up through Congress, and right now they probably don't have the votes, right? And so there will be a situation in the new Congress that it can be brought up. Say I get in Congress. Let's say I go to Congress, right? I'm in Congress. What's up, Marvin Gaye? Say I go to Congress, right?
Yeah.
I then write up a bill, and this is why it's important for them to be supporting this campaign. I write up a bill, say, hey, look, here's the bill, how I want it to be presented. Go to each congressman. Hey, look, we need to put this on the agenda for vote, right? Go to the party chair, say, Democrats control Congress. There's a possibility that we can get it approved. Say they don't, and now I got to go to every Democratic congressman and woman to then sign off on it, and then go across the aisle, because that's why I say I am the guy to work across the aisle, and then go across the aisle and say, hey, look, you guys need to sign off on this. We need to put this in law. I'm pretty sure they will have something to add in there to try and support the Nick Sabans of the world and the conferences of the world and all that. It'll be a serious issue. But if everybody goes and they vote and we flip the House in this midterm, then it will be a lot easier for me to create a bill in support of these athletes versus we don't flip the House. They create a bill and they get it passed because they got the numbers. And that's how serious this election is.
It's actively in motion. They're taking the steps to try.
Yes, it's in motion. Oh, it's gonna be this going down the next session. Because the next session, the people who are elected in the next session will be there for 2 years. And then
I don't think that's the thought process of any kid out there that's backpedaling right now and taking visits. That one day that this thing because they didn't pay the kids. What people don't understand, the college football did not pay the kids. It's not like they start paying the kids and then they're gonna have to stop paying them. What they said was, we'll allow you to go find money. NIL, name, image, and likeness, sponsorships like tennis, like golf, right? So don't think that it's some checks getting printed up at Texas A&M for a kid that's coming from the school. That's not what they did. All they did was loosen the reins a little bit and was like, man, go find money. And then the value of these kids came to the forefront. And everybody was like, oh, wait a minute. Like, what is the value of a 5-star quarterback? Like, where would they stop? The kid from Michigan got $10 million.
Let me ask you this here. Let me ask you this.
What's up?
How many 5 stars is it in the country?
30, supposed to be 32 every year to represent every NFL team.
So it's 32 5 stars, right? All of another question. Would you assume that all these 5 stars are represented by agents?
The 5 stars, yeah, I would say 85% of them, 90% of them.
Represented by agents. Let's say the 5 stars. Okay. If they're represented by a reputable agent who should understand the magnitude as to what's getting ready to happen in 2027. After their 2027 year, there's a strong possibility of them, of Congress creating a law to prevent them from making money. Shouldn't those agents be responsible enough to start lobbying for them? Shouldn't every one of them agents who represent all 32 of them 5-star players be contacting their local congressman or looking at a dude like me and say, shit, we got to get this motherfucking Luke in, because if we don't have a guy like him in here to fight for us, there's a strong possibility we will not be making any money. We will be making $50,000. We will be working for free. This shit will be rolled back. Well, we won't be making the millions that we would. So
yeah, all that money is stopped. All that money is stopped because the agents' money has started coming earlier.
Exactly. So
yeah,
I'm saying, listen, man, my phone ain't been called by one agent. My phone ain't been called by one agent, one 5-star, nobody. I don't have no 5-star on my list, my campaign contribution list. Listen.
You playing Russian roulette?
Hey, listen, if I'm a 5-star right now, I'm looking for Uncle Luke right now. Hey, man, what we could do? Everybody in my family finna get $3,500. Fuck that. If I'm doing that, hey, look, the agent calling the other agent, every agent who represents a player should be on the phone. Hey, man, we gotta get this man in Congress, because if this man don't go to Congress, we getting ready to lose our ass now, and we get ready to lose in the future. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying most of these guys are misrepresented because it's not their job. Their job is to go out there and lift weights and run and go out there to slide, to learn this here, come back home, recover their body. If you got somebody representing you, they need to have their pulse on what the hell is going on in America. They need to have their pulse on, okay, how is this thing going down? They need to not be sitting up there lathering up and washing cars and doing all this wild shit, because at the end of the day, they stand to lose.
Yeah, all their money. The agents first thought the NIL money wasn't big. They didn't really chase it. But once the money started becoming higher and higher and higher, they all jumped in and was like, hey, listen, bro, you made a couple $1,000 off these kids now in college. But Harold Bailey say, Uncle Luke, what's the real reason they want to make a law for NIL? Like, why do they care so much? Give me your theory on that.
My theory, you don't have to take it from me. You could just go to TikTok and go to Google and read all the articles as to the argument that Nick Saban, the conferences, the NCAA has been making to the arguments that they've been making that, NIL is out of control. They're paying the players too much money. They shouldn't be getting paid this amount of money. There should be a universal amount of money given to all players, whether it's $50,000 and everybody should be getting the same amount, and everybody shouldn't be able to be transferring. You should only transfer one time. It's the conference. It's because, hey, they have an old player thing that they're addressing. They can address that. But then on top of it, they have the other part of it is now they have the University of Miami doing something they didn't expect the University of Miami doing. This is all based around University of Miami. This is all based around Mario Cristobal. Them not expecting them to have the bag that they have to be able to go and buy all the players that they're buying and out compete these teams, they did not expect this. This was not in the cards.
You don't like
I
that.
mean, this is a league, the ACC, they get the least amount of money. They get the third amount of money from TV deals from the Big Ten and the SEC. They right down there, down to the bottom feeders. They got, you talking about a private school. They don't have 100,000 people in the stands, nor will they have a team in the ACC to draw 100,000 people. So they look at the economics of it all and felt like it was getting ready to go into a two-tier league with the Big Ten and the SEC. Miami comes in, put a monkey wrench in the game, and start paying all the top players. And next thing you know, they're going to Miami, and then now Miami is competing for a national championship to beat 5 goddamn SEC teams. And then you have this Indiana. They could deal with Indiana. Indiana is going to be irrelevant after this year. They're going to be back to bottom feeders. Trust me, they'll be back over there with Ball State and Boston College and all of them. They will be back there. But then these upper echelon schools, so they're saying, okay, let's reverse it back, because SEC always controlled the NCAA.
Right.
Nick Saban, all in my opinion, always, those top schools always ratted on everybody else. That's why you never seen them brought up on sanctions. You saw Ole Miss being brought up on sanctions. That was the year they got Condiche. And when Condiche went over there, they was like, how the hell they can get the number 1 player in the world to go to the Ole Miss? It's got to be something wrong. And they investigated them people, and they gave them coaches show causes, and some of them still living through that shit right now today. So teams that got top players, they got investigated by the NCAA because they shouldn't have went there. Same thing with Miami. How Miami getting all these players? How they winning? They fucking up the matrix, and we got to investigate them some kind of way because they should not be getting these type of players. And so that is the good old boy way of doing it, and they're trying to get back to that. Meanwhile, the Alabamas and all the rest of them of the world, in my opinion, were paying people, and then nobody was saying nothing about them, and they're trying to get back to that. Streeter.
They're trying to get it back to the way it was.
They're trying to run that shit back. The same way the United States government is trying to run that shit back, where before we had the right to vote. And if people keep sleeping at the wheel, then they're gonna get this bitch back to where it's at. Don't take your ass out there to vote, make an excuse why not to vote. All of it is gonna unfold together, because this country is not designed around young black men, less alone old black men, young black men to walk into being multimillionaires. They don't design their school for that. They design these schools. Let's keep it a buck. They design these schools for the black kids to be the entertainment, for them to be in the school, to be given a scholarship. You got a scholarship, you entertain our kids who are the paying kids of the universities. The same thing they got with the American Heritage and the St. Thomas in the world. They use the same model. Y'all, this is a white school. We're bringing these black kids in here to entertain our white student population, and that's what it is. And the same thing go to the college. You're at Tennessee, all white people screaming and hollering for their black players, and y'all are there to entertain them. And that's what it is. And possibly have some white quarterback that all the girls, somebody on there, which is DEI. You should have heard my argument about DEI earlier, but I can't go back into it because I got to get off here.
Entertainment. Their entertainment. We always have been.
Yeah. Black people, they're entertainment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But man, you gotta go back and listen to the beginning of the show when I broke this shit down with Shador Sanders and Mendoza and Ty Simpson and all that. Then I say, why they don't apply DEI? Why they don't apply DEI to them? Because they're in a predominantly black league. These are white guys, and Shador Sanders had better numbers than them. And they just let them in this league here because of DEI, and why it don't apply to Mendoza and Ty Simpson, who don't have nowhere near the numbers that that he had.
Ty Simpson, that has to be a friend of a friend and really believe in him. Like,
no, that's what it was.
It was.
That's what it was. I mean that listen, man, listen. That shit, the black players should be screaming DEI. Because if you're going to apply DEI to us and say we're not qualified and we just got the job because we're black and it should have been a white person get the job in this white institution, then in this black institution called NFL football, you did not give this qualified black player, Shedeur Sanders, the job, but you gave who had better numbers in college, better academic numbers, better numbers on the field than these two guys here. It should be screaming DI. The federal government should be taking any money that they're giving to the Raiders, and where did Ty Simpson go to? The Rams.
Rams.
They should be taking any federal assistance from them. But that's not gonna happen because DI only applies to black people. All right, Streeter, I gotta go. Ladies and gentlemen, here's my flyer. I got it out. Streeter don't have a flyer.
I got a plaque though. You ain't got one of these.
Platform.
I'm gonna keep throwing it in your face.
We got a platform right here. Flyer. This Luke for Congress. Hey, look here, man. I'm gonna show y'all this here. Check this out, Streeter. You don't have one of these neither. You don't have one of these.
This is what you want in your front yard. Yeah.
Let me get one of them things, man.
Every other day you can turn it around and then you can put it that side on you.
Let me get one of them things, man.
We're doing it big, baby. This is what you want in your front yard. Go to my website, www.luthercampbellforcongress.com. And
you play music?
Go in the comment section.
When you walk by, it should say, it's your birthday.
And I might just bring it to your house.
Hey, when you walk past it, it should say, I want to rock. No! It should, hey, you walk past it, it should say, no!
You need that. You need that in your front yard. You need that in your front yard. Hey, look here, man. I'm going to people's front yard. I'm going to people's house. And I'm giving away. I got a list of people that went to my website who live in the district that went to my website, and I'm going to go take this. I'm going to take the yard sign and deliver it myself. No, I'm going to deliver the yard sign myself.
You got to have a camera crew with you.
One lady say, Luke, come on Sunday. Come on Sunday. I want to feed you. I said, yeah, glad.
You got to have a camera crew with you, man. Don't do it. If you can't find a cameraman, I got you, dog. I'm going with you. You got to have a crew with you, dog. That's epic. That's
epic. Man. Shouts out to my good friend Shakim. Shakim is Queen Latifah's manager, longtime manager, cut all her deals, big movie producer and everything. He hit me up and he said, Luke, I want to support the campaign. Send me the information. So Shakim just went and gave $7,000 just that quick. You see how that's what's happening. And I don't expect people on here to do that amount of money. If you got it, yeah, fine. But $5 is good. Be on the books. But no, man, this is a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful day. Hey, look, I clowned you earlier. I said, ladies and gentlemen, when you go back and look at the tape, I said, ladies and gentlemen, Streeter is not, he's going to come in here late and then try to have me on this motherfucker late.
No, we do good work,
I'm trying to come on here do 1 hour, and this man try to put me on. He comes in late to then try to do a whole nother 2 hours.
And we do it. And people in the comments say, great show. Good content.
Great content.
Hey, man, the signs should make noise, man. When you walk past them, they should say, no. It's your birthday. Come on, man. You got to get innovative, man. Come on.
Play a sign for you again.
This is what you want in your front yard. Yeah.
You see that, bro? That thing look good in the front yard.
Turn it around, and then you can put it.
That look good. Now, if your husband feeling some kind of way, and he don't want to see Luke in the front yard, then flip it on around and then just put Uncle Luke right there.
www.luthercampbellforcongress.com.
Yeah, don't that look good in the front yard?
Go in the comment section and say, I want to.
Awesome, dog. Let me get one.
Hey, man, that thing look good in the front. Look at that. Come on, man. Let me leave that thing up there like that. Let me leave that up there like that.
That's awesome, man. You got the red, white, and blue going.
You see, you man, come on, man. We serious. You see, on folded. We serious about this thing, Streeter.
Proud of you, man. You're a long way from being in the USA, bro. long way.
We
Proud
go
of
full
you,
circle. It's full circle. I was banning the USA. Now I'm going to Congress to ban some of their ass.
We're a long way from banning the USA, man. You done went full circle, man. I'm proud of you.
Full circle. You see, look at the man. Look at that sign, man. You can't get no better than that, man. Can I blow it up, man? You can't get no better than that, Streeter. Come on, man. Come on, man. Y'all, hey, look at man. Go to my website, www.luther for Congress. You see it strolling on the bottom. Hey, look, it was a great show. I appreciate it, Streeter. Make sure y'all go check my man Streeter out on his podcast. Streeter, you be on there with you and X. Man, I love that show, man. I love when y'all be on
me and X talk about Kane stuff, man. We get on there, talk about some stuff. Sometimes Hayes be on there.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I love that show.
Go check out my archives, man. I interviewed Cam Kitchen, Shamar Stewart when they was kids, man. Go YouTube and type in Footballville, Jeremiah Smith. I'm the only person sat down with Jeremiah Smith when he was a kid and was able to have a 45-minute conversation with him.
Yeah, people, go check Streeter out and on all of his platforms. He's on Facebook, he's on YouTube, he's on Twitch, he's on X, he's on Instagram. Right now he's on Instagram Live right now. Make sure y'all go check him out. I'm gonna get out of here tomorrow. I will be listen tomorrow, people. Here it is. Tomorrow I will be at the Q Salon, 11-1 South State Road 7 in Plantation. I'll be over there at 1 o'clock. I'll be at the barber shop at 1:30 in Lauderhill. I'll be at Glow Cuts in Fort Lauderdale and Lauderhill again. I'll be at KK Cuts at 2:30. I'm going to the barber shops tomorrow. I'm going to the barber shops and beauty salon in the district. I'm going out there, shake hands, kiss babies, and talk to all the people. Checkmate Barbershop at 12 o'clock. That's where I'll be at. I'm going to Natural Trendsetters or at Natural Trendsetters. When I tell you they do good hair over there, them girls is like legendary. At the Natural Trendsetters, legendary. I'll be over there tomorrow. I'm going to go holler at the girls at Natural Trendsetters. Ladies and gentlemen, I enjoyed the show today. I hope you guys enjoyed the show as well. Again, man, I'm running for Congress. Make sure y'all go to my website, www.LukeThorCampbellForCongress.com, and go over there and browse around, check out. We got a big old fundraiser getting ready to happen. My next big fundraiser is going to be with Rick Ross on May 21st. And then I'm going to have another big fundraiser on June 2nd in Atlanta with all the top Atlanta artists. And, you know, these fundraisers are a place where you can go network. Yeah, they do donations, but, you know, yesterday was great. And the networking that happened, you know, guys are calling me up, guys and girls are calling me up right now saying how great that fundraiser was and how they got to meet people that they would have never met before in the business world. It's a networking thing. You know, we don't do enough of that. And I want to give a shout out to Brooklyn Chop House. The Brooklyn Chop House, listen, man. Listen, that's my new spot in Miami. If you're in Miami, it's in Wynwood. When I tell you top of the line, first class, brother own it, the Brooklyn Chop House, go there. And I'm just saying, I will be going. I never went there before. But, hey, my next date, I will be taking her there, the hot date. I'll be taking a hot date there. A hot date. A hot one. This is 5-star. This is not Red Lobster. This is 5-star date. The food, oh man, the chicken on the stick with the sauce. Oh my God. The crab and rice, thick crab on top of the rice. I'm just saying. But here, before I go, I want y'all to check out the event yesterday. This is how it went on.
He has said so many times what he's.
Why is that still up? Why is the yard sign? The yard sign to hijack the whole show.
Washington, and guess what? He's going to do it. So put your money on Luke. His story is so inspiring. He is going to make a difference, and not just for us, for all.
What I love about Luke is he loves the people. And if you see everything that everybody said today about how much he's done in the community, especially from the queen right here, we're talking about the kids, the education, because that's where it starts. After they grow, they become a Luke.
You know, I love it. I'm in a win-win situation, you know, because if I inspire any person in this room to do what I'm doing, then we won. That's my show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. I'll check you guys out on Monday. I might do a special edition over the weekend. Hey, Glow, how you doing, Glow? See you on TikTok tonight. Maybe we'll play the card game, the clean version. Adios, amigos. In the words of Walter Cronkite, the great reporter, may the good news this weekend be yours.
Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Make some motherfucking noise!
Like the big booty hoes, cute faces. Little nigga hit it on the first day basis. Niggas fake bitch kick game straight. X no down with the dominate face on. Or in the path of sex with diamonds glaring. Keep a nigga staring when you're wearing down a Karen. But skip shit to keep a nigga looking at you. In the bunk sex, you can show off your tattoo. Even if you're a max true player, she ain't